First piece de-oilified, the dipstick tube. And the O-ring, it's still pretty soft, and it goes over. Oh, you can see right there it goes over, so I don't know if this was leaking. I'll probably throw a new O-ring on it just in case. So my findings with all the leaks and everything is it's leaking from all the common spots. And so it's leaking coolant out of the thermostat housing, which it's common for that gasket to go. And then it's leaking the oil from all the common oil spots. I've already went over them. So if the person who owned this just got the common leaks fixed, this thing will probably be perfect maintenance-wise and engine-wise and everything like that. Body-wise is a different story. It's a Florida car. I guess if you take it to a shop, it's a lot of money, and these cars don't go for a lot, so there goes that. But I'm just hoping that it wasn't overheated, which when I drained it right now, it had like a quart of coolant in it. So probably was overheated. I'm hoping I don't have to do a head gasket or anything like that. So I cleaned up the block a little bit. I can't power wash it, so it's not gonna look the best. But I decided I'm gonna take the oil pan off. I ordered a gasket, so I'm gonna do it anyways, but I'm gonna take the oil pan off and I can put it in my parts cleaner and get that clean, because that is disgusting. That is truly disgusting. But what I'm gonna do now is drain the oil. I'm curious to see how much it has inside of it, and then drop the pan. I'm definitely happy to see this. The drain pan's filling up a good bit, so had some oil in it. I was really scared I was gonna start draining it out and it have like half a quart in it, and then I would be like, oh man, this thing's toast. Now I get to drop the pan and hopefully see no glitter or anything in there. Man, guys, here's the top of the fan. So it spins. I'll have to test it, see if this fan's working. Yeah, and see if that's my power steering issue. Hopefully it's this and not the pump. And oil is still draining. I do not know how much oil these engines take, but that's probably 5 quarts right there at least. Oil pan is off. You just had to take out 1, 2, 3 bolts that were connected to the transmission, and then just a bunch of oil pan bolts. And the good news is there's no glitter or anything inside, and the engine is really clean. So that is surprising. This oil is pretty black. It's not too bad actually. But yeah, there's no buildup in the pan or anything. So this car has at least had good oil change intervals. So that's a good thing. Hopefully that means this engine's gonna be really healthy. The bad part is just all the oil surrounding it, all the oil on the engine. But it looks like the inside of the engine will hopefully be fine. Knock on Mini Cooper. Alternator, actually. So now I'm gonna take this to my parts washer and get this looking brand new. You guys tell me, is this an OEM gasket? I don't know. I don't even know if it was bad or not, but while we're in here, we might as well replace it. Here it is, looking a whole lot better. Now, I didn't get it brand new because this car is a beater, so it doesn't matter, but it's a whole lot cleaner. I'm gonna let it sit there and let all the parts cleaner run down back into the parts bin. I'll throw in a before right here and then after, and it's just 100 times better. Here's the old thermostat housing, and yeah, it was definitely leaking from here. Let me take that O-ring out. Man, so here's the O-ring. Oh man, that thing's rough. It's still a little rubbery. So you can't really see, but the new thermostat housing and gasket and everything is in right down there. And here's the setup for, I believe this is the map sensor. So something broke off obviously, and yeah, they just got some hose going to the line down there and 2 screws holding it in. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. If it works, it works. If not, I'll fix it. Whole intake system's back on. Hopefully I don't have to take it back off, but it's not that much work. Forgot some of it. Here's the new Amazon $10 dipstick. They seem to be about the same length. Ooh, in case you didn't know, this is how a dipstick works. Here's the new crank sensor seal. Here's the new crank sensor O-ring, and as you can see, it is a good bit larger than this one that's pretty shriveled up. So definitely good to change that out. And with the whole front end of the car off, this is how easy it is to put the crank sensor in. Did it with my thumb. You do not want to forget the connector when you've come this far. All right, got my oil pan gasket in, so I'm gonna clean the surface on the car, and I'll clean the surface on the pan even though it's already pretty clean, and I'll get this put back in there. All right guys, so as you can see, I got the crank pulley off. Here it is. It's still all together somehow, some way, but it is rotted. I had to go around town and get M6 by 1 bolts for right here, 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 and here. With any puller that's like this, you want at least like 70 or 75 millimeters. I would recommend to make sure the threads are all good and to get like a grade 8 or something like that, because you want a real strong bolt in there. You don't want it to break. But I got it out. Now I can replace the seal that's obviously seepy and weepy and weepy and seepy. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow to do that. But the pan is on. Tomorrow I'll do that seal, then put the crank pulley back on, then do the serpentine belt stuff and start it up. New seals in there. Hopefully that stops some of the leak. You can see all that runoff because it'll leak on the crankshaft and just get thrown all around. So hopefully that stops the leak. Now, to put this back on, I need a much longer bolt to pull it in. So I gotta find a much longer bolt. Got the belt back on. Now I should be able to start it and it'll be charging and everything because everything's hooked back up. I need to torque this nut down, but I blasted it with that, so it should be good. What I'm gonna do now is put the front clip back on so I can put coolant in it and bleed the system and everything and check for leaks and go through all that, and then I'll be able to drive it. So I'm pressure testing the cooling system right now. Got it like right in between 12 and 13. While I'm cleaning up this stuff, I'll let that sit, and if it still has the same pressure when I'm done with this, hopefully the cooling system's good. So let me get to cleaning. All right guys, here's the new and improved fan and rear motor mount. I'm gonna throw these two things in now, fill it up with coolant, drive it. The coolant is filled to the brim. It's gonna suck it down, so it'll be okay. I got my little OED scanner, so I'm gonna plug this in and I can clear the check engine lights and monitor the coolant temperature for bleeding the system. So let's see how it goes. Guys, first drive, and I didn't have a shift knob for it, so I had to put one of my own custom ones on here. Uh-oh. What is whistling? Andrew Parks. Alright, so we're driving the Cooper, and it's driving really well actually. Besides the exhaust leak, zips. It zips. Supercharger's definitely working. And yeah, it's not that bad. Watch out for the dog. He's staring at us. That's a road monitor. Horns work. See? It's actually not that bad. I think I'm gonna, I don't know. I'm still waiting on a few other gaskets, but I might power wash it today. So when the other gaskets come in, everything's clean. Big truck, big truck. What happened to your handle? Look, show them your handle. Oh, not a big truck. Show them this. It's stuck out. Oh, in reverse. Look, you need a light? That's how you know the guy was a smoker. So the front of the engine is still dry, which is great, and the side is too. the car for about 30 minutes yesterday and no leak from the crank seal, so hopefully it stays that way. Now, where the leaks are still is what I'm doing today. These cars have a tendency to leak from the oil filter housing to the block, which is this seal, and then these two seals are for the oil cooler, which bolts on right there, and these tend to leak as well, so I got these two as well. So after I do those and then the valve cover gasket, that should be it for oil leaks, besides possibly the rear main seal, but if that one's leaking, I'll just leave it. I'm not worrying about that. So you might be able to see down there, but I got the housing off, and the O-ring itself is just like as flat as can be, so that was definitely leaking. I'm gonna swap out the gasket now, and we'll be good to go. All right, and you can see now, that seal's all the way in there, and it is poking out a good bit. So this thing's definitely gonna seal now. I'm just gonna clean the housing surface and bolt it back up. You guys would not believe this, but the AC works. It is engaged, and it's pretty cool. Once I fix the fan, it should be even better. The tire pressure alert light went out. Now there's no lights. No lights. Can't believe it. Let's give it a little rev. Alright guys, so this is how I'm going to leave it for now. Basically all the maintenance is complete. You guys saw all the gaskets I did. The only other ones I have left to do are the valve cover gasket, and I have to put a new oil filter in it, which is right there, but I'll probably do those off camera. Hopefully after that, this will be leak free. Then exhaust wise, flex pipe needs to be fixed. Then that will be leak free, except for in the muffler, there's a small hole. I'm just gonna leave it. And then the power steering, let's see if the level's gone down. Oh yeah. The power steering level has gone down. The leaks need to be fixed here. It's probably just leaking from the bottom of these hoses. They need to be tightened or something like that. And hopefully that'll fix that leak. If I can have a leak-free, problem-free, basically, mini supercharged one for under, right now I'm under $1,200 into it. That's pretty good. I can't believe it. I might end up doing some paint work for this. Not sure yet. Still thinking on it, but do this and then the hood and everything, and then it'll look halfway decent. I don't know, because it's still got stuff like this. It's a beater. It's a beater. I hope you guys are enjoying this car as much as I am working on it. It's pretty fun to work on so far, and fixing all the leaks and stuff has been very rewarding. So I'm definitely excited to mess around with this car a little more. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, that shit by the state I'm in here. I took it from zero to flame. You saying I read it from out. The shit wasn't love. They got me fucked up. I put you on bus and take you around. A couple of guys inside of the school. I gave them the tools to get it up around. Say to the ones when they make their ears can't look in the mirror. That shit by the stand on the stage.